Hey guys. Welcome in. Welcome in, guys. Hey. Y'all come on in and tap the screen and like the live. TikTok, you're so nosy, I'm eating some Chipotle. I want to come in and talk to you guys. Please tap the screen and share the live to at least 3 people. I have a message for y'all today. Come on, tap the screen, like the live. Please. Share the live, y'all. Come on. I have a message, and it's important, and we need to talk about it. We're not doing any free readings tonight. I don't have time for that right now. I don't want to. I want to talk to you guys. Come on in. Can y'all share the live to 3 people, please? 3 people.
Why don't we turn the light on?
Because it's too much. I don't like that energy.
Good Lord, cut the kitchen light on then.
It's too bright.
My.
You acting like you can't see.
I didn't say nothing about my sight.
So what does it matter? Well, thank you for sharing the live. God said get on the live. And the way I feel better is to go help somebody else, so. So, if you want to get this message from Spirit, stay on the live. If you don't care, get off. It's not really what I care about. I just care about getting the message through and getting it all the way downloaded. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. The Ion says, learn to look with an equal eye upon all beings, seeing the one self in all. Okay. Symbol represents the principle of good judgment that is utilized in both personal and professional situations. Webster's dictionary defines the aeon as that state which represents a long, indefinite period of time. The aeon reminds us that all perceptions come from our ability to take a look at the whole, and that it is our inherent desire to consider longevity, history, and broad perspectives in all situations. Within the central representation of this symbol, we find two powerful reflections of both family and profession. The concept of family is represented by the large giant child figure of Osiris, the Egyptian god of wisdom, who married Isis, the goddess of intuition. They gave birth to the body, mind, and soul of Horus, the god of perception, which is represented by the three floating fetuses. These central figures represents the family. Surrounding them in the Egyptian goddess Nut, the sky goddess, she is the dark woman with elongated body, touching the sky, touching the earth with toes and fingers as she makes a back bend in order to hold up the stars at night. She makes the shape of the zodiac sign Leo, which represents creative and professional power. Creativity that is properly used can make positive impacts in both family and career. The Aeon is the only symbol in the entire deck which incorporates the integration of the personal and professional aspects of our lives. The goddess Isis is in the womb, reminds us of our creative power to give birth to new forms of floating fetuses. Osiris, with his forefinger to his mouth, reflects the wisdom comes from experience and is not a randomly spoken. Comus, in his book The Fall, stated that the last judgment is faced in all the daily judgments we make of ourselves and others. The Aeon judgment symbol represents our ability to give birth to new forms in both family and career situations. The Aeon reminds us to look at the history we have shared and to forgive ourselves and others for the judgments we are making about what we are doing or not doing in our lives. The red winged eye of Horus at the bottom of the symbol represents inspired vision. Horus, the Egyptian god of perception, was able to see the whole or overview of the situations. The perception of Horus is needed as we give birth to new forms in both family and career. All right, I'm going to stop there. Thank you for liking the live, y'all. I really appreciate that. So I'm sitting here feeling a title full of emotions. And sometimes when we get upset or angry or whatever we are feeling, we tend to grasp on to this wave of what is crashing into us. So when we speak about emotions, we're speaking about energy and motion. And sometimes when we are down, we are really necessarily in a feeling. And we have to understand what a feeling is. I feel, which is typically a Cancerian energy. Okay? So Cancer likes to feel. Cancer likes to, in their lower octave, absorb all the emotions. What am I feeling? And so Cancer tends to take things in a deeper personal perspective of what they are observing. And so we have to kind of understand with our Cancerian houses, I typically observe more of what happens to me with me being a Cancer rising with the moon in Cancer. And so with that being said, I used to sit too long looking and feeling. Now, of course, again, I'm a Cancer, so I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel the rides. I'm going to feel the emotions. But when we latch on to an energy, we start to latch on to a feeling. And I'm here to tell you, your feelings don't fucking matter. I don't want to cuss at you, but I want you to understand that at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel, it doesn't quite matter. You have to become the observer and allow the emotions, energy to flow. This is when you become a master of your mind and a master of the self. We live in a universe that is a Cancer rising, which is the representation of the Anami Mundi. When you understand that the universe is a Cancer rising, you will start to understand a lot of different things that happen in your surroundings. We are ruled by emotions. We are ruled by the moon. So when you are feeling down about something or something that has happened to you or something about what someone else did or what the world is doing, you have to learn to take a different perspective. And when you are watching what is happening, stop latching on to an emotion because it becomes a feeling. Now, why is feelings and emotions two different things? Well, I'm going to have to go pick up the definition. And so once I understood this and I studied and studied and studied, I became a deeper master. Now, it's not to say that you're not going to have your times. You're going to have your times. You're going to have your moments. But when you are reminded of your master level, you can come back into self. You can come back to your higher self and say, fuck them feelings. I'm just here to observe the emotion. This is not to be in a complete undetached person. This is just calling back forth true connection to the higher realms of emotion. Now, with that being said, I hope that makes sense, but we're going to make it more sense. I'll be right back. And this is not to become a robot. We are not robots. You are made up of 70% of water. Drying out your emotions puts you in a state of a feeling that is drowning you in a tidal waves of, again, emotion. So we're going to pick up feeling. Now, feelings can be love, can be care, affection, fondness, even negative feelings. And see, I think a lot of people have really messed this up when we talk about feelings and emotions. They mess it up. And so therefore, a lot of people can't escape the false matrix, the false waters, the false womb. So, I'm really not liking these definitions. But good news for you, I already did this work about a year ago. So I'm finna go to it. It's either under my reflections or energy. Yeah, it's energy. So follow along. If you can't keep up, it's okay. I understand. It takes time to understand these things. What is a simple definition of energy? Energy is the ability to do work. Okay? So then I go into the understanding of what is condensation. Okay? Condensation is water which collects as droplets on a cold surface when humid air is in contact with it, or the conversion of a vapor or gas to a liquid. Okay? What happens when water and air come together? Water at the Earth's surface evaporates into water vapor and then rises up into the sky to become part of a cloud, which will float off with the winds, eventually releasing water back to Earth as a precipitation. What are the basics of energy? Okay. The basics of energy include using an energy source and converting part of its energy into usable energy products. The physical properties of air. Follow along. Just hot air expands and rises, and cooled air contracts and gets denser and sinks. And the ability of the air to hold water depends on its temperature. Let me say that again. They said hot air. Okay. We might have to go back forward and back together. Hey, baby. Hot air. Okay. What is air? You have to understand what air is. Let's put it in a Libra concept, a Gemini concept, and an Aquarius concept. Okay. Now, this is where things are getting backwards. Okay. Air actually naturally comes before water. Or does water become before fire? And see, that's when we have to do the work. 9:44 on the clock. We have to go back to the very beginning to understand the very natural foundation to come alive into the real true matrix, which is the real mother womb. Matrix means what they want to call it, a female breeding ground. Talk about an experiment, huh? So if we don't know the definitions or etymology of words, we will never be able to get out of the escape of not emotions, but your feelings. Emotions are here to stay. Emotions are here to ground you. Emotions are here to teach you. The true matrix will help you and teach you that. But the false matrix will make you stay ungrounded in false emotions. So you have to understand what is a matrix. And this is where you start doing real definitions and etymology. Matrix means an environment or material in which something develops a surrounding medium or structure. You know what's crazy? They actually trying to change it. Because the last time I looked at this, it didn't say that. So the origin of matrix, matter, M-A-T-E-R or M-A-T-R is mother. And then in matrix means breeding female or the womb. And they tend to say that women, womb-like people, which is a portal of water, is highly emotional. And see, these people don't understand emotion. So I have to come in as a Cancer, rising, sun, moon, and rising, with Palace on her ascendant, to teach people what this means. Okay, let's go back forward. Let's go back to, oh, this look good. Let me focus. Hot air expands, okay, and rises. Cooled air contracts and gets denser and sinks. Stop right there. What do you think that means? And the actual frame and structure of emotions. Well, we can compare air to its correspondence, communication. So when things get hot, when things get fuming, let's say we just put a pot on the stove, right? This is science, y'all. We put a pot on the stove and it starts to get hot. And there ain't no water in it, right? So we just put a pot with just filled with air. You can't see air. I'm taking it slow while I get these downloads so we can make it make sense. You can't see it. So where do you think the air is going? It's getting hot. It's rising up. It's expanding. Okay? But say when the air gets cooled down, okay? Everything's getting cooled. Everything is getting contracting. Things are starting to get denser. They said, hold up now. Are we finna compare air, first air sign, Gemini, which rules the shadows? Are we locked in a true matrix or are we locked in our shadows? Spirit just ancestors said both. Because Gemini and Cancerian go hand in hand. They come together. See, they said Spirit is asking, how does the mother become after the twins? Well, we have to go back to Taurus. And so they say, Spirit says they made the creation cycle backwards. So necessarily can't really teach from the astrological standpoint, but at the same time, yes, you can. You have to go backwards to go forward. And this is why I tend to look crazy to a lot of people. Because they created a breeding ground for females to walk backwards and to walk forwards and get lost in a conundrum. And so you ask women, womb, that is living in a false matrix to perform her natural duties. It don't work that way. So what you're seeing with women, when I talked about this on a live a couple days ago at 4 o'clock in the rising, that women are, black women specifically, let's just keep it a buck. Black women are the most educated demographic of women in the USA. Well, why is that? Because they had to go backwards so that they can go forward. Now we ask ourselves, what is education? The education really starts in the third house, early childhood education. So this is why women are exceeding, because they're exceeding through the actual teleprompt of the actual matrix that has been trying to perform for them so that they can break out, so that they can break in, so that they can receive in and receive without. It's taken a long time to break out the matrix, the false matrix. I'm not going to make sense just yet. And the ability of the air to hold water depends on its temperature. A given volume of air at 20 degrees Celsius can hold twice the amount of water vapor than at 10 degrees Celsius. Now, in astrology, we talk a lot about degrees. People have 20 degrees, people have 10 degrees, people don't. For me, I got Venus at 20 degrees. So therefore, and it sits in the 12th house of the hidden realms, I can hold, it says, a given volume of air at 20 degrees can hold twice the amount of water vapor than at 10 degrees. The relationship of how much water a given mass of air actually holds compared to the amount it can hold is its relative humidity. We're going to go forward real quick. By Master Stephen Coe from Words and Teachings of GMCKS, when people express negative emotions, those come out from the solar plex chakra. If they don't express them, they go to the back solar plex chakra and they stay there for many years. And that's how you get an energetic hunchback. How many of you have a hunchback or a hunchback that's growing? But if you return back to the physical properties of air, it says cooled air contracts and gets denser and sinks. Do you know that anger isn't actually a secondary emotion? I'm finna start cooking now. Because you are afraid of your anger. You're afraid to expand. You're afraid to rise. 9:55 on the clock. And so you want things to cool down. But you haven't even expressed, which is fire, your true, honest breath. And I think that we are actually in the year, not only in the year of Aquarius, but in the year of the dragon. And I ask you, how much did you express your anger? See, we're in a Libra moon today. So I'm going to bring it back to it. What Libra is supposed to be doing. I've had a vendetta against Libra, I guess, my whole fucking life. Because, see, this is why they try to change the story of Lucifer. They try to actually demonize that energy and not recognize the balance of dark and light. See, everybody wants to be light. And Libra likes to keep it at peace and calm. No. No. First of all, let's speak on it. Aries is the first sign. It starts the first. And Aries, y'all think that anger is a lower octave. It is, but it ain't. Because when you start to recognize what you're supposed to do with your anger, you wouldn't be afraid of it. You'll allow it. See, a lot of people can't handle when someone is passionate. They try to say it's anger and demonize the anger when it's actually just passion that's helping it expand and rise to a whole different level. And see, I seen something on Instagram, and it was saying anger is not negative. It's a positive. And it actually helps you to direct your path. See, I've been using my Jade Dragon. I made it around the eclipse cycle in Libra. And see, everybody missed the message because y'all do the generic bullshit. But see, I'm the moon. So I understand what I'm supposed to be doing. I look at the degrees. I look at the aspects. And I make sure that I find the deeper answer. Because everybody lost their fire back when it was in COVID season, back in 2020 and 2021. And see, now they have y'all locked in and cooler, denser spaces. And it's now you have a hunchback. And when you cave in, that solar that's supposed to be on fire, that's supposed to be directing your path. Because see, the serpent that is coiled up at the very bottom of your back is supposed to reach a higher level. It's supposed to go through all levels. But it starts to get synced in. And see, that solar plex starts to dim. And then you wonder why your energy gets denser when you sit in your sacral. And then the sexual energy that you are supposed to express through fire is coming dim into the realms of your wombs and the realms of your gut and the realms of your sacral that actually represents water. See, you think the heart chakra is water. It's actually air. Am I cooking? Am I cooking? Because I think I already know thyself. See, if you take yourself back to your first house, which is actually naturally in accordance to Aries, you will understand that you're supposed to express your anger. It's a secondary emotion. It gets things moving. Hell, it gets things clearer. I like things when it's clear. That's why I'm not afraid of nobody's anger. I just be sitting there waiting. It's because Aries is the very first fire sign. And it goes through Leo. And then it goes through Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is the one that speaks the truth. So I've been teaching the chambers of the Aries and then the fire signs to teach you guys to express your anger and stop lowering your vibration. Now, let me get back to the math, because I've been cooking since. When did I make this? I made it October 13th, 2023. So Jasmine don't have to teach this, but she gonna cook it for you. So the reason I get so angry and passionate and be yelling and screaming is because I'm tired.
And I need to express some things, and I need to get some clarity. So because I'm a Cancer, okay, I'm gonna cry about it. The fuck? I'm finna cry about it. I'm gonna express it. I'm gonna be loud until I'm done. That's the balance of the Aries and Libra cycle. And why am I teaching this? I was pissed off today. But not only that, the North Node is in Aries and the South Node is in Libra. We're letting go of what is not peace. This is why they've been saying it for years. No justice, no peace. See, they cut your anger off. They cut that secondary emotion that sits above all of them other emotions and says, nah. You've been fucking with me. My anger and my passion is actually in the direct alignment to cut you off. To cut the very thing, the tail off that does not belong anymore. So when you in Capricorn season, stop allowing your fire to get off. Stop allowing your fire to be so close knitted and all tucked in and all pretty. We don't do pretty no more. You think I'll give a fuck about your pretty self and your pretty privilege? No, I don't give a fuck. Now, let me read this again. By the Master Stephen Coe from Words and Teachings of GMCKS. When people express negative emotions, those come out from the solar plex chakra. If they don't express them, they go to the back solar plex chakra. They stay there for many years, and that's how you get an energetic hunchback. When negative emotions get old and intense, they have the tendency to manifest as diabetes. Because the back solar plex chakra controls the pancreas, which controls insulin. With a lot of anger and resentment, now hold on, I'm going to teach from here too. With a lot of anger and resentment, they start to cover the whole area and affect the kidneys. Without forgiveness, you'll never be happy. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. If you are resentful, the people you are angry with might not even know that, so they don't care. You are the one hurting yourselves. You need to understand that. Now, anger, again, is a secondary emotion. You have to express your anger in the right line to get it off of you. No, you're not supposed to hold anger. That's not what I'm saying. You're supposed to direct it in the right angle to get the right effect. If you don't express your anger, baby, your anger is your truth. Your anger is your truth. Your anger is the actual thing, is your backbone. It makes you stand up. It makes you clear. See, after a good cry, that is when you feel clear. Now, don't say that you ain't never felt the clarity. The clarity after you just cried. Your whole third eye is just open. So I ask you, when's the last time that you cried? When's the last time that you cried? I cried every single day of this year. And I was okay with it. And how did you feel after that cry, baby? Miss Tiffany, how did you feel? How did y'all feel after that? You just felt good. Good. Stop being afraid of your emotions. They're here to help you. They're here to direct you. They're not here to stop you. When you stop the energy that's in motion, everything starts to get haywired. It starts to get knocked off. You got to be focused, don't you? You're not focused, it means that you haven't cried enough after the last spillover that has happened. You can't do color therapy correctly if you don't allow your tears to fall. So wear more red. Stop being afraid to be in your lower centers. It's your chakra. It's the first one. It's the base. Now everybody gonna say, don't stay there. Don't stay there. Yeah, don't stay there. But express there. That's the first engine, babies. You're not going to be able to get your solar plex. That is your willpower. That is your energy to get there. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do it. So express that anger. But I said to myself when I was little, because I've always been in my higher self. I said, Jasmine, you gonna be angry? Find that direct point down the road where you want to be at. And when you release your anger, make sure that it goes right where you need to be. This is why I got scot-free from a lot of trouble. But see, they don't teach that to y'all. They don't teach this law and this rule of the game. You direct your anger and vengeance and revenge, baby, you're over. You're done. It's your karma. But direct it right where it needs to be. And if you want to learn how to do that, you go to my website, you get that jade dragon, and you lather it on your body. And you keep it pushing. And you keep it moving. Now that's a read. That's the read. Aries teaches the Leo how to perform 10 on the clock, how to perform the actual motion of his creative flow. Aries teaches the Leo how to take its anger and to express it to create the most magnificent piece of art form on the planet. This is how you get out of anger quicker. See, I don't stay angry for long. I get the fuck up out of it because I know how to direct it. I know where it's supposed to go. I know where it's supposed to do. Now I have a South Node in Aries in the 10th house, so I've already achieved this, y'all. So yes, it's going to be easier for me. But you just going to figure out, okay, you angry? Okay, then you're going to want to change. Sorry, y'all. Aries is also ruled by Mars. But who also is traditionally ruled by Mars? Scorpio. Scorpio. Scorpio likes to sting. Scorpio likes to hit its target. Scorpio teaches the Sagittarius how to hit its target. Mm-hmm. Your anger is supposed to teach you how to transform, babies. Mm-hmm. So Aries is teaching Leo how to alchemize and transform that anger, get it moving, get it pushing, so that when it gives it to really Scorpio, Scorpio can create. This is how you bring about children. But if you can't direct your anger correctly, you manifest angry children. We ain't speaking about Cancer right now. I'll get back to Cancer. We speaking about anger and how to direct your anger. I'm just utilizing the birth chart and the certain signs on how to get out of anger quicker. I don't like holding grudges. It's too heavy. Anger is heavy, y'all. It is. But you know what's... No. Anger is not heavy when you use it properly. What's up under the anger is what's heavy. So if you don't know how to direct your emotions, understand what anger is and how to utilize your anger properly, and then you'll be able to find your direction and your flow. Now, I got Aries in my 10th house. I'm angry at how the world looking. So, would I be responsible of thyself, Aries, if I went out and pew everybody because I'm angry at everybody and what they doing? No. I would be held responsible for show. But see, I learned something. I said, let me find a better way to direct my anger. So I come on here and I help people. I help people get to the top. I help people get to their achievements. So what you gonna do is you gonna go to your birth chart and you gonna find where Aries sits at you in your house, whether it be the 4th house. You probably angry at your family all the fucking time. So what you gonna do is that you're gonna help people be unangry at their family. You're gonna find a way to go at war, because Aries is at war at all times, for sure, and doesn't let up until the mission is over. So, Aries in your 7th house could be dependent upon why you're so angry in your relationships. And then y'all be saying, oh, I'm not angry. Yes, you is. Because once I start tapping onto them heart chakras, there's a whole lot of anger in there and resentment. It's been beautiful, baby. And I'm getting through it. And see, this is why I don't be angry. I don't be angry for long. Whoever says that I'm not angry, whoever says that I'm not angry, not expressed itself, has not even expressed itself, hasn't even created any type of piece of art form, you gotta be shitting me. You gotta be lying. You lying. So that's why I don't believe it. Girl, you angry at everything that went on just last year. Stop capping. So when an Aries rising came into my life and said, oh, let me push her buttons. And then I started to recognize, oh, I'm angry. I'm real angry. Let me go ahead and express this. And it made me feel uncomfortable. I was so damn uncomfortable at expressing this type of form of anger. Once you hit the button on people's anger, it's a full outrage. Because it hasn't been expressed. So what y'all need to do, you ain't expressed that anger, baby. And I know you haven't. You're going to tap on that heart. You're going to tap. Tap, tap, tap. And if you don't tap on on yourself, baby, you're disconnected. And you feel that you can't make decisions correctly, well, baby, you haven't expressed your anger. So you got to tap. Tap where you feel the stuckness in your body. And once you start to feel that, let it out. Find someone that you can trust, or you trust yourself enough and say, hey, I'm finna do this for real, for real. You lock yourself inside the home and you let it all out. And once you out of it, you're going to see purple, third eye has been cleared. And your third eye is connected to the way that you make decisions. And now it's cleared, it's open, and you can direct your path. Because Aries is all about going ahead with things and going forward with things, because Aries doesn't have to think about it. Aries just knows. Aries is right after Pisces. It's still a circle, guys. It's still a circle, y'all. So you can still be able to move intuitively, because the spirit of the Messiah, the spirit of Christ consciousness, the kingdom of God, sits in your solar plex chakra, which is fire, which is actually the natural engine of Aries, and it's moving with the intuitive insight to know where it's headed and where it's going. You're so welcome, baby. Thank you for being here. And so this is how you're going to get it. This is how you're going to get it done. This is, you just going to express your anger. If you ain't learned nothing else today, you're going to express your anger. That's it. In the most healthiest way. Now here's the steps. You're going to find Aries. You're going to find all your fire houses. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You're going to look up what those houses mean, and you're going to recognize what you have been angry at your whole entire life. And then you're going to create a game plan to start to direct yourself and speak your truth, because that's the last engine of the fire sign of Aries, Sagittarius. You're going to speak your truth so you can fully stand in your power, which is Scorpio. And you're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to handle it. You're going to get it done. And you're going to push past all that anger. And you're going to figure out how to be able to just move with the emotions and not latch onto a feeling, because it's going to be fuck your feelings. Because now you understand how to get to the rhythm, how to get to the bag, how to get to the flow, how to get to the creativity. And you're going to keep pushing. And you're going to keep moving, and you're going to keep flying, and you're going to keep ascending, and you're going to keep going where you want to go, because you already got it done. You already expressed your anger, and you already know when Jesus Christ went into that temple, he expressed his motherfucking anger, and then he got the fuck up out of there, and he said, I'm going to do it all over again in the name of God, and that's just how you're going to get it done. You're going to understand that anger is a secondary emotion, and that anger has to be directed in a right form of way. And then once you direct that anger into that motion, everything just falls into motherfucking place. And amen. I just explained it. That's how you want to get out of that anger. And you're done. And you're healing. Amen. We healing. Amen. We're done with it. We can put it down. Because anger is your secondary emotion. And we're done. And I figured it out for y'all. You're welcome. Now, we're going to give you a little bit more because I like to be thorough. But I was thorough. Was I not? Okay? Okay, some of y'all need to do some hip mobility. Because all your anger is stuck in your hips. Okay? Okay? This is how we going to get it done. Okay? That's how we going to get it done. Because we not finna be angry no more. We finna go into the year 2025. Okay? We're going into the year of 2025. The year of Mars. We cannot have angry people. We use that anger for the betterment and the goodness of all. Amen? We put that anger in God's hands. And then when he passes that anger back to you and say, handle it, you better handle it. Because you always gonna be saved. Duh. Because you did it the proper way. That's it. Exactly. Because you're releasing the trappedness of those emotions. We're not finna be feeling too much. We're just gonna be, oh, I get it, and move on. We're not gonna get stuck in it. We're not gonna get stuck in it. We don't have to get stuck anymore. We don't have to get stuck anymore, y'all. It's been a long time coming. Stop getting readings. For real. And just listen. Because this is the read. Y'all be coming here, ask me about your love partner. Who? When it's you first. That's Aries, baby. It's about you. Because you leave this earth on your own. Have you mastered the self first? Because if you ain't mastered yourself first, baby, ain't nobody coming. Ain't nobody coming. And if they do come, they're here to only teach you something. Okay? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I'm here. I done taught. Y'all gonna be all right. And I know it's hard. Let me tell you something. I know it's hard. I went through 13 years of depression. Please, baby, I know it's hard. 13 years. 13 angry suppression years of my life. Gone. And it was mostly my childhood. Tired. I didn't even, this untapped potential. You want to hear what untapped potential is? Your potential is your Uranus sign. I have the highest potential to produce energy, to create a natural flow and a cause so I can get the right effect. Y'all can do it. Say that you can do it. And don't give up. Don't give up. See, that's y'all's problem. You get too down in your head and too down in yourself. See, they talking about, I don't think y'all understand what energy is. Again, energy is the ability to do work. So they creating emotion code charts, which I'm still going to use. But this should be a feelings chart because this is these feelings. Okay? Energy is the ability to do work. And baby, the way that you feeling, you feel abandoned, baby, you can't do no work. You can't do nothing. Okay? The people that are able to produce the most work is not feeling. They got you messed up. And I need y'all to stop listening to these people. They done mess y'all up. And so I'm sitting here and I'm going through these emotions and I'm not latching onto a feeling. I'm letting it go because that's not how I want to feel, because I can't do the work that I want to do. Energy is the ability to do work. What y'all have been feeling is feelings, not true energy. Ooh, I'm going to have to go through it too. Because I'm tapping. And I tap in. And I stay grounded. You wonder how I stay grounded? I let go and I surrender. And I just say, and I surrender more. And I forgive. 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 I don't let it sit with me. I let it go. I let it go. And I let it go some more. I am the demonstrator. I am the actor, which is Leo. And if I want to be able to create and give energy and give life to something to come into true form so that people can see seventh house, people, seventh house can see, I must perform the actual natural act of that energy. Leo teaches the Virgo how to produce energy. I'm finna pull on some heartstrings, y'all. Because I know it's a lot of work. You're producing energy. So if you're feeling all the time, as a Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I like to feel. Okay? And there ain't nothing wrong with feeling. We gonna get there too. It's just being attached to it for too long. It's not gonna hold. It's not gonna be able to. It's not gonna help you. This is why I didn't listen in school. My soul shut all that shit down. My soul said, no, we ain't learning nothing in this school. So when you get out of here, you gonna have to produce some work on your own to get it done so that you can make sure that you have a true education, not an indoctrination. Words is powerful, y'all. Again, energy is, as defined, the ability to do work, meaning the capacity to exert a force. Aries, causing Uranus, displacement of an object, and can manifest in various forms like heat, light, motion, or potential to cause change. In physics, it is typically measured in joules. They've been putting it in the movies. Key points about energy. Concept. Energy is the capacity to perform work or cause Uranus change. Types. Energy can be categorized as potential energy, stored energy, and kinetic energy. Energy of motion. Measurement. Energy is measured in joules. Joules. And the law of conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. Now, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to let that resonate. I'm going to let that penetrate. Girl, I can't say sorry. Penetrate. And we're going to get into it. Okay? Now, I love you guys. That is y'all's reading for tonight. Go back home, sit with yourselves, look at every single fire placement. Aries, Leo, Sag. It does not matter if you have a planet in that sign. It means that you need to go to that house. Look at the housing group. So if you have Aries in the first, you're angry at self. If you have Aries in the second, you're angry at how you express your self-worth, or angry at your family, or angry at your income streams, or angry at the value system in the world. If you have Aries in the third house, you're angry at your siblings, the way that you communicate, or you're angry within the childhood education system, or angry at your neighbors, perhaps. If you are angry, have Aries in the fourth house, you could be angry at your ancestors. Get over it and move on. It is time to perform a different act of service. If you are angry, have Aries 1033 on this clock, Aries in the fifth house, you are angry at the children that were in the schools. You are angry at your romantic partners. You might be angry in the perfection of maybe your sexual nature, or you're angry at children, or you're so angry from things that happened in high school or your childhood, or how you were educated. If you have if you have Aries in your sixth house, you're probably angry at your employees, your lifestyle, your routines, maybe not having a pet when you were younger, or your job, or how you work, or the ways that things work. If you have Aries in the seventh house, you could be angry at your relationships. Okay? If you have Aries in the eighth house, you're angry at having debt, inheritance, maybe the lack of not having an inheritance, or needing to find an inheritance. Or being angry that you have to transform. Oh well, get over it. Maybe that you're angry, ninth house, the house of God. You could be angry at God. Simple as that. Or angry at the law. If you have Aries in the 10th house, maybe you're angry, like me, of not being able to achieve the way that you wanted to achieve in life. Or your goals, or certain celebrities, because the 10th house can represent celebrities or authoritative figures, or your father. The 4th house can also represent your mother. The 10th house represents your father. Moving on. If you have Aries in the 11th house, you could be angry at your friends or your community, or how they perform in the community. Or you're being angry at things being or you not being able to express yourself on online spaces. If you also have Aries in the 3rd house, you could be angry at things with social media. If you have Aries in the 12th house, you're angry at the way of spirituality, or angry at the hospitals and prisons. Well, switch that up and be a prison reformist, or transform the prison system. Okay? There you go. That is your homework. When I come back live either tomorrow or maybe Christmas Day, make sure you are on here. And we are going to see if there is a difference. Do your homework. That is how you heal shadow work. It's quick, simple, easy. And let it go. All right. Goodbye. I love you.